Hello there, friendlies. My name is Big Sister 792, and thank you once again for being here today. So, in my last vlog, I talked about why I'm getting a BS Art History major. So, as everyone knows, the S stands for. Now, when I first toyed with the idea of being an art conservator when I grow up, a lot more, I was looking at the requirements and found that I needed to take chemistry. Just as my dream was slowly being crushed, seeing as the only reason why I passed chemistry in high school in the first place was because the teacher took pity on me, I was reminded of some very helpful advice from my mother. Talent, background, drive. You will excel with all three, but if you have two, you'll be fine. Now, I had no talent in math or science, I admit this. I have this really sad memory of getting helped during my Math 65 teacher's office hours for extra help. And after we worked on a problem, she was Russian too. She went, "See, you can understand, but you're not, And then I said, "I'm an art major." "Oh, that explains it." But I couldn't stop thinking how cool it'd be to someday restore abandoned monasteries in Europe, or see the smile of someone getting back their dead grandmother's heirloom tea set after it being hit with a baseball. Thankfully, I decided that this career path I decided on this career path in the beginning of summer, so I had the whole summer to study as much as I could before classes started up again. And I worked really hard that summer. I watched Crash Course Chemistry to get the basics down, then Khan Academy to get more into depth of the various aspects of chemistry, and I even bought the textbook as soon as I possibly could and took notes early. Basically, I have no talent, okay? I recognize this, but I did have the drive and I built the background. And when classes finally started up, the homework was done in OWL, and any of you students who have done homework with OWL know that when you do the assignments, you get this cute little green check mark that tells you what a good job you did. And the teacher assigned a ton of homework, and a lot of the problems were pretty repetitive, but as I was doing them, I found I wasn't really struggling as much. I did the problems and I got the green check marks, and I was very proud of myself. Next thing I knew, I had this weird sensation in my brain where I think a more visual representation would be like in the movie The Amazing Spider-Man, where Peter Parker was like creating his little web shooter inventions, and you're seeing his eyes light up, and his brain is processing faster than his hands could move. And I briefly thought of quitting to be an evil scientist until I realized I was bad at being evil. The weird thing was, doing those problems was giving me the same kind of excitement I would feel after beating a boss in a video game. I mean, who gets that feeling from homework? Apparently weirdos like me. If you're a weirdo like me, let me know in the comments below. And I ended up getting a B in the class, and I felt really happy. And I was even stupid enough to let myself get convinced that I was actually good at chemistry. After a couple of terms with this teacher, she left to go teach in Italy, and I had a new teacher. I found that I was struggling a little more with this teacher. She gave lectures and gave us quizzes each week, and I did okay on those, but never really been a good tester, and I actually failed the first midterm. But I was not going to give up that easily, and after some introspection, I realized that there was something about my old teacher that clicked with my brain well that this teacher didn't really enforce. And then I realized that the first teacher gave like all that homework, and my brain was getting so much more practice. And so that was when I realized I had to completely change my study skills. I assigned myself tons of homework, and I did the practice problems in OWL because it gave me those little green check boxes that I love so much. And since I'm an artist, I did other things like draw comics and stories that made certain things easy to remember. And heck, the science was even bleeding into my art. And I felt like I was becoming a more creative person because of it. I ended up with a really, really good grade on the second term. It was like a low A or a high B. I don't remember. It was a high B. It was like an 89. And I mean, I just needed the motivation to do better than just pass. And I learned a lot differently from my peers wanting to be engineers or doctors. And I've heard my teachers and supervisors in the art conservation world that there are plenty of students who think maybe they'll go into art restoration, but then they see the chemistry requirements and then they run the other way. And I know for a fact that I'm not a genius and I'll never be the next Da Vinci, but I wonder if this seemingly institutionalized separation between art and science is keeping like the next Da Vinci's from emerging. I mean, Da Vinci was every bit of an engineer as he was an artist. And I wonder how many more of us are not flourishing because, like, oh, if you're an artist, you're bad at math and all these other stereotypes. Anyway, I realize this video is starting to get pretty long, so I just want to say thanks again for watching. If you like this, please be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for many more of my videos to come.